Well, today we're going to be building up and painting a 3D resin print. This was from Hex 3D, which is a subscription supplier. So once you've subscribed for a certain length of time, you get access to all their back catalogue. So this was a print of the Mandalorian, or the Mandalorian without his helmet on, Din Djarin, as played by Pedro Pascal. So I thought, in honour of season 3 starting, and given that the actor's doing sterling work in The Last of Us, I thought I'd build and paint this one. It's quite a simple construction, just 2 parts. So the first job is going to be, there's a couple of little bobbles that need taking off from where the struts were, and then undercoat it, and then we're going to paint. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so the undercoat is dry. I use black. I quite like using black on larger scale figures. So it's my normal Cadian flesh tone with some Vallejo light flesh mixed in, and we're just gonna paint his face. So I'm just going to finish that. Alright, while the flesh is drying, we're going to do his sort of undersuit, and I'm just going to use a mix of heavy sienna and black. I'm just using the WizKids Vallejo paints. I find them really good. So we're just going to paint this on. I'm using this for his sort of shirt collar, and then we're going to use a slightly different for his cape and slightly different for his things, but they're all sort of variations on the same very dark brown, grey colours. So I'm going to do that and the other greys, and we can come back. Okay, so the flesh is dry. I'm going to try, I've never used it before, probably a terrible time to try it, but I'm going to try the WizKids Flesh Wash. And I might regret this, I might have to repaint them afterwards, but we'll give it a go. If the worst comes to the worst, we can just sort of blend it out like we normally do. Okay, we'll see how that dries. In the meantime, I'm going to dry brush a bit of the brown. So I'm just using Steel Legion Drab. Just going to wipe off pretty much all of the paint, hence the term dry brushing, and then we're just going to lightly run it over the brown bits just to highlight. That just brings out the texture, you see. We're going to do similar with the blue grey. For the blue grey, thinking what colour? Do the light grey. Quite a light grey, so I might have to just make sure it's really a dry brush. I'm going to use for his Bisco armour, I'm going to use mirror paint. Got my sample mirror. I like this. Good stuff, but you don't need a lot of it. Let me see, so it's nicely chromed. So I'm going to do that. Okay, well, I put the first layer of mirror on. I've painted his belt. So what I'm going to do now, the flesh wash works really well. I was quite impressed with that. I didn't need blending or anything. It gives a nice look to it. So what I'm going to do now is paint his eyeballs. Okay. Let that dry and paint his eyeballs. What I'm also going to do is block in his hair. Just have a look, see what. So it's sort of a darkish brown. So I want to use Resin oxide, which is a nice dark brown. So all I'm going to do on that is just block that in. Make sure you're doing it, so I'm going to block it in. I'm also going to use the same colour, just a bit of dry brushing on his beard area as well, so we'll do that. Okay, so I've blocked the hair in, it's still wet so I don't want to touch it, and I'm going to dry brush that. The face, I've painted the eyes in and given him a little bit of stubble, not too much. So I'm going to dry brush the hair, do another coat of mirror, then a little bit of dry brushing on the face. The stand, I'm just going to pick out the name in red, I think. I might do some aluminium parts, but I think I'll leave the majority black, so I'll do that. We'll come back. Oh, I need to paint his greebly things on his belt silver as well, but I might do them a different type of silver. I don't want them to merge into the mirror. And then he's just about finished, so we'll have a look when he's finished. Well, I've finished painting and I've popped him on his stand. I'll do some close-up shots as well. Some really good likeness. It's painted up very nicely. I just put extra bits I did. I put a little bit of stainage. I know he's got Pascal armour and it's usually pretty nice looking, but I put a little bit of stainage around it just to weather it a little bit. I put a little bit more dry brush in his hair, but that was about it. Just trying to get it to actually focus. I can get in a bit closer with my phone camera, although it's not as high a quality. The likeness is pretty good, isn't it? So yeah, so a little bit of close-up footage from my phone. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. There is a, is it Cad Bane? The blue guy that looks like Lee Van Cleef. There is one of those which we're printing at the moment, but our FEP broke, which is the plastic film on a 3D resin printer that stops the resin from leaking out and ruining your printer. So luckily only a little bit came out, but we'll wait to see whether it will carry on working. But if I do that, if you want to see me paint that one, let me know. If you want to see more of these style busts, like I say, I've still got Kenobi somewhere to do. Then again, let me know. I'm very pleased with that. It's nice to see him because there's loads and loads of busts with him with his helmet on. Very few. There's Pedro Pascal. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you can. It does help the channel. Most of my views come from people that are not subscribed, so it really does help out if you can. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks then. Bye.